What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back to Cooking Companions. We have now reached day number 5. I'm going to have like a pure organic first playthrough. I'm going to do safety saves to make me feel better about being in this scary cabin with people I do not know. You know, as far as like, more than acquaintances, I feel like we all just came here coincidentally. It wasn't planned or anything. There's a lot of scary, mysterious things happening. My curiosity is starting to outweigh the fear I'm feeling, and every night I'm just gonna expect a horrible, nightmarish frame jump scare flash, and I'm rambling because I'm nervous. Let's jump into it. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms, and legs. Mariah looks petrified. Couldn't sleep. And Natalie has bags under his eyes.
This storm is too loud.
Karen looks out of it. That's a new face.
The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive.
Gregor looks a little gaunt.
I got a good look out the window.
And?
Couldn't see anything due to the rain.
Great observation, Gregor.
I was so hungry last night. I kept pacing around my bed.
Karen turns to you.
When is this going to end? I checked outside the door again. Floodwaters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're going to need to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies.
How close is the nearest town?
I don't know.
Didn't you have a map on you? They're speaking as if we could have gone to a town all along instead of foraging for food.
I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. Oh, so it's my fault now. I'm sure it'll show up eventually.
Mariah and Annihilated go white as a sheet.
How are we going to find our way back now? We'll.
Again, as if to imply that our situation is optional.
We'll have to ride out the storm.
Mariah looks at you. We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we could put off eating. The group stares at you.
It'll clear up in no time. Maybe you're right.
The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. Without me? Or no, they gravitate to different areas in the house. Okay. You can tell Gregor's putting on fake optimism and Mariah's having trouble. Which one do you want to speak with today? Well, I've already made some progress with Mariah, so let's talk to her. Brr. It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it? You explain to Mariah how the size of a person and fat content determine how warm they are naturally. Yeah. Wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career?
So you
You know each other. You've known each other before you all came here. Lit firewood and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. Mariah blushes a little. You make it easier to pass the time. Thank you. Pretty sure Mariah will remember that. Cool, our relationship is stronger. You thank her and leave the bedroom. Got no food. You call everyone together. They all look grim. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. Why am I the leader? Why is this feel like it is solely my responsibility? They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out, everyone cannot take their eyes off it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. Just pre-cut it for everybody. And slowly, all 5 of you tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karen is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. And Natalie chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Mariah nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. It was gone in an instant. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've run out of options. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. Now this leads me to question what I would do in this situation. You know, there's floodwaters outside. That's dangerous. But I would also initially, like, my first thought was like, well, if you can't leave the premises, you should have enough materials in-house to maybe fashion some sort of net. You know, cast a line, try fishing. If Mariah doesn't want to eat meat, that's on her. But if there's some way we can get that sustenance, then great. You know, we're not going to force her to eat it, but I feel like if you're in a desperate enough situation, and I do realize that for those who don't eat meat, you don't have those enzymes in your intestines to properly break it down when you reintroduce that to your body, and that just causes you pain. But I think you would still eat because you're desperate. You go to bed starving. Day 6. And I've also never been in this kind of a situation. But the first thing that comes to my mind also is that there was a popular news story back in the day, definitely sometime in the 90s. I think it was like a local story about a soldier who had gotten stranded somewhere, and he survived by eating ants. If nothing else, I know you bitches can find insects. You're sure quick to kill and throw out all those spiders. Not saying, like, I don't know if I could ever force myself to eat a bug, but I've also not been in a situation where I was that desperate. But I think if nothing else, you can find insects. Come on, people. Explore all avenues. We're clearly here for the long run, and we gotta make do with what we can. Morning. But as I established in the first game, I don't think I know you all well enough pre-game to want to sacrifice myself for you. So I'm going to try to put me first. And I know the chompets in the drawer said, don't eat us even if you get hungry. That's like a supernatural element, and I don't want to mess with that. So I'm going to, if you don't know what it is, don't touch it. I'm going to follow that philosophy as far as the chompets go.
Let me check if the rain has stopped. I'm the only one here with a working pair of ears. It's still flooding.
What are we going to do? We've got all these mouse holes in this cabin. Has no one tried to look for a mouse or a rat? Again, I feel like if you are so hungry, you get desperate. And you would want to explore all possible avenues before cannibalism, which is what I think we're headed towards.
Humans can live about 2 to 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. Rainfall should end in a day or two, right?
Actually, precipitation can occur more than 250 days a year here. For as many trees as it looks like is outside, it's not soaking up any of that water.
But do you really think it will rain that long?
Natalie,
it's been days already. What makes you think it will stop soon? Like we're in the northwestern United States or something. Heck! Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow.
Gregor, I'm gonna need you to shut up. Chuck your optimism out the door. Start coming up with solutions. Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared. And we've yet to be introduced to this fuzzy friend. But you need to survive. Aaron and Gregor begin to discuss next options. Do you want to speak with Mariah in the kitchen? Or Natalie in the living room? Think instead about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone. Why is that my responsibility? I'm gonna do a safety save. Make me feel better about everything. I feel like I need to clear things up with the Natalie. Oh, the book's upside down. Can you not read? And Natalie's still paging through the book.
Hey. Really should have been more careful with our emergency supplies. What were you thinking?
Sorry, Natalie, I was really hungry. Okay, Franz Kafka. I don't think it was so much an issue of me being really hungry as it was everyone whining at me. So I'm just feeling like, I'm sorry. I don't even know. I don't think this is my fault.
Apology accepted. Who could have predicted this much rain? You're sweet as pound cake, thank you. Wink. You'll have to teach me that vegetable stew recipe when all of this is over.
You're sure Natalie will remember that? Cool. This cheery music is not lessening my paranoia.
This book is a great distraction. Very well written. Oh.
Oh. You get the hint and leave Natalie to himself.
I don't think any of us could take this much longer.
Gregor's voice starts to crack.
I don't want to ask this, but...
Why are you crying?
It's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food.
Oh, thank God. I thought he was gonna go straight to cannibalism. Everyone is silent. I'll go.
Mariah!
I used to swim all the time near my house. This ain't nothing. I have probably the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters. My papa used to swim across the river like a crazy person.
No. Let me go instead. You won't go very far if anything happens to your glasses, Natalie. You're blind as a mole rat, remember? That's true, but... Little guy, let me go. Gregor, aye. Sounds good to me. Karen! His arms are definitely the longest, so he'd probably be the best at climbing trees out of all of us.
Are the trees dense enough that if you climb one tree, you can just, you know, travel that way above the water? Or nah? No, that wouldn't be right, Gregor. Let me go instead. I get that none of these options are good ones. But we need to find food or help. Gregor grabs a branch from the woodpile. Now, if they give me an option for me to go outside, I'm gonna do it. To get away from you people, because obviously you're already blaming everything on me. He cuts it into different measurements.
Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand. And the shortest will go outside to search for food.
You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths. So you can tell which is the biggest of the bunch. You pick it. No, I want to leave. I want to get out of here away from you people. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor? And Natalie? Karen? Will it be Mariah? Looks like I got the shortest.
Mariah.
It's okay. I watched the Natalie forage earlier. So I'll know what to look out for. Really, you all could have spent this excess time studying, taking notes.
Just swim until you find higher ground and scout the area. Maybe you'll find a fish out there.
Isn't she the one that said no fish? Everyone looks heartbroken. Karen. Natalie. Gregor. I'll keep us alive. What about me? I promise. She promised. Everyone watches as Mariah leaves the cabin. You're not going to take anything with you? Maybe some, like a bag? The silence is deafening. Goodbye. The door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is. And then silence. Mariah has left the cabin. Is she going to come back? I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up, waiting and waiting. The sun has completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. Dead to me. Achievement. What? You get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. Oh no, not another dream. The two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel. Oh, I thought we were done with this. And then you try pushing it into the oven. I thought we were done with the children in the oven, Hansel and Gretel thing. Her legs are so strong, you can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking in the coals. Is this going to scare me again? Are you going to get another scream out of me? You feel 4 hands on your shoulders, and both of them push you in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. Rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Oh, we're so strong! Screaming, you chase the two through the woods. Your burns chill with the wind. The guest looks behind her and her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. Your fury rips trees out by their roots, soil from the ground, rocks from their pits. And I'm anticipating another flash of an image, and I don't know if I'll have time to see it and read at the same time. I'm just nervous all around again. You've never been this angry in your entire life. Their stamina can't last forever. You're gaining on them. As you trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall into the pit, screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. Wake in a cold sweat. Oh gosh. I see the flash, but I'm reading and I don't see the picture, so I'm gonna have to look at it when I edit. And, ugh.
Good morning.
Oh, Natalie's crying now.
You think she made it to higher ground?
Probably not. We didn't give her anything. You could have made like a rope out of the bed sheets or something. Fashioned a bag of some sort so she could carry things. Like, I'm sure, look at all this stuff on this bookshelf and a musket or something. We could have prepared things for a situation such as this. But I feel like we've just been dicking around. Just staring at this dusty wall.
I believe in Mariah.
Me too.
She'll be fine. Right, little guy?
Where's your chipmunk friend? So, what do we do now? Just wait?
Aaron.
How long? It's been almost a day since she left. Also, buddy system, maybe 2 people should have gone instead of just 1. You know what I mean? And Allie and Gregor look nervous. Someone needs to go look for her. Please, let me. I'll do it.
You need to wait, Karen.
Wait for what?
The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now.
So it could be days before she gets back? What are we supposed to eat? Mice? Yes. If you have any, figure it out.
Karen, I'm sure Natalie will agree, but we'll discuss next options when we get to it.
I think we're already there, Gregor.
Every waking thought is about food now. I should never have eaten that much.
I'm... Karen's hands are involuntarily shaking. Gregor and Natalie just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Mariah will make it back. She promised. Everyone retreats to their areas. What do you want to do today? Speak with Natalie in the kitchen, talk with Karen in the bedroom, speak with Gregor in the living room. I'm gonna keep going with Natalie. See where that takes me.
Hey. The kitchen definitely doesn't feel the same without Mariah. Her laugh, her smile. I never got to tell her how I felt about her. She'll be back, right?
You nod.
Yeah. I wish we had rationed better.
How long were we supposed to stay here? It feels like there was some sort of national emergency. We came here knowing not how long we would be here or how long we needed to ration things for. What's the story here? I'm gonna have to go back to the beginning to get another ending to put all the puzzle pieces together. Ah! He decided to distract Natalie from his misery with an old story. There was once a villager who had to stock up supplies for the winter. He filled his house with a cow, a sack of grains from the field, and 92 buckets of water, mostly for the cow. He quickly ran out of room as the house was very big. One day, the villager grew sick. He knew he needed the life-giving milk from the cow to survive the winter. But when he attempted to milk the cow, his grip was too weak to grasp her udders. In desperation, he began to boil the grains using his buckets of water. The cow cried out for food, but the villager could only afford to feed himself. Each night, the cries of the cows kept him awake. Until one day, he finally ran out of food. The villager crawled into bed, crying as the snow deepened outside. The cow's sad eyes stared at him. He wanted to comfort the cow, but he couldn't step over the buckets. He was too weak, too sick. The last thing he heard was the cow still crying out for food. One haunting noise to end his life. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted to hear. Flashback, I'm remembering one of the stories from Where the Water Tastes Like Wine that I played, where this old woman was like confined to her basement or under the house because cows had taken over her home. And Natalie looks horrified with your story. You leave him alone in the kitchen. Okay.
I can't stop thinking about that vegetable stew. I'd be fine with the bread and jam. I'd be fine with just the strawberries.
Where is your friend? Did you eat it? Nobody else laughs.
I would kill for some vegetables right about now.
You would too.
I'm going to try to get some sleep. Good night. Night.
Fall asleep quickly, but you only dream about about desecrating a corpse. You wake in a cold sweat. In a completely different room.
Good morning.
Now, I know I said I don't want to mess with the Chompettes too much because they're a supernatural entity. But I'm hoping if there's any clickable options, I will have a chance to speak to them again. Maybe get a little bit more info on things happening before we just jump into it. Because if it comes down to that, then I'm just going to let them have at it and then I'm going to escape out the cabin. If it'll let me. Karen's looking worse. Will you cook for the group today? I only got one option. What am I cooking? Oh, where did that come from? You take out a cutlet of meat and begin to cook it in the oven. Where did that come from? How cooked meat? Now cooked meat? Is that Mariah? Where did you get that? You ignore Karen's question. Where's Gregor?
What's that smell?
Gregor finally gets off the couch. Did Mariah not even make it past the porch?
Where did you?
3 are looking at you, salivating. Take the charred meat out of the oven, cutting it into small cutlets. They immediately grab some off the plate, chewing ferociously. You take a piece and immediately devour it. Do you have any more of this? You explain how the meat is stored securely, hidden so you can ration better this time.
I understand. Thank you.
Or did we eat his furry friend? And Natalie runs to the bathroom, puking in the toilet. You can hear him sobbing for a few minutes.
This taste is...
Gregor wanders off. And Natalie returns looking choked up.
I was too weak.
Left you some of the meat. Don't fight this, Natalie. And Natalie takes a cutlet from the plate, turning his back to the group as he devours it. No! Where are dreams not dreams? Do we actually go back out and salvage her corpse or fish it out of the water? What? Oh my god, this is awful. You can hear him crying. Finally, my focus is coming back. I'm going to read some of those books. Keep them occupied, okay? Karen leaves you with the men. Who do you want to talk to? Speak with Natalie in the bathroom, talk with Gregor in the bedroom. Just for the sake of continuity of what I've already done so far, let's go talk to Natalie again. You knock on the door first. Natalie? Slowly open the door.
Thanks for checking in on me.
You ask if he still feels sick.
Not anymore. I think it was a mental thing. Please don't tell me where the meat came from. The less known, the better.
Nod.
Thank you.
You're sure Natalie will remember that? Oh, what's gonna happen when we get to 5 hearts? You leave Natalie and go tidy up some parts of the kitchen. Hours passed. The meal gave everyone the perseverance to keep going. Eating will just make them hungrier. They're fine now, but soon they'll be begging for more. Was that kitchen cabinet always open? I don't remember. Hey guys.
We've waited long enough. What's for dinner?
You calmly explain that you want to ration the meat better this time and there will be no dinner. Why is it my responsibility?
Fine. I understand. I guess I'd rather eat tomorrow than more today.
No arguments? Perfect. Everyone decides to call it an early night. You fall asleep instantly tonight. You have a strange dream. Having dinner with a blacksmith. He's not touching his food. The only light in the room comes from the oven. He clears his throat, stroking his beard.
I could forge anything,
He says. Your eye has been giving you issues lately, so you reply. Forge me a new eye, then. You laugh. Then the ropes come out. He ties you to a chair with a long rope to prevent you from struggling. You rip the rope apart without even trying, so the blacksmith uses a thicker rope. No turning back now. He takes a hot poker out of the coals. Holding it in front of his face, you can see his beard and eyes watching you. He slowly brings back the poker, aiming carefully for your eye, before plunging it through your skull with a sickening crunch. The force of the blow throws you backwards a few feet. You're unable to break the ropes. You vomit all over your chest, as the smell of your decimated eye floods your nostrils. Blacksmith stands over you, spitting on your body. Wake in a cold sweat. Oh gosh. I know it's coming. I'm never ready for it. You wake up to see Gregor looking out the window. He turns to you, not smiling.
Take a look out the window. Do you notice anything?
Они вас никогда не простят.
A high whispering lady. The floodwaters have receded a little bit, but everyone is still bound to the cabin. But look, we got a little bit of a front yard. You don't think we don't have the resources to fashion a net or a scooper? Or like go up and see what's in these trees? Maybe we could get some sap out of some trees? Come on now. Look, we got options. Even though humans can't really digest cellulose, we could do it. That's if I'm remembering my biology class correctly.
The trail used to be completely visible. It's gone now.
He was chopping wood. Oh, we got an indoors person achievement. Okay, look. Also, he was clearly chopping wood. That was referenced early in the game. We could probably make some kind of raft or a floaty. They're not exploring every avenue, and that's frustrating me.
Will Mariah make it back? This might sound a little crazy, but every night around 2 a.m. I can hear her outside. She makes this awful gurgling noise like she's trying to get water out of her lungs. Have you heard her, Gregor? Sometimes when the rain gets faint, I think I can hear her whispering. I haven't heard anything like that. When she's whispering, it's like she's trying to tell you something.
If that was her whispering during our little cutscene transition, it sounded like it was in a different language, but I didn't have the volume up enough to really tell.
Right? Oh!
Yes! Oh no, I don't like it! And the music is not helping. I sometimes hear her crying through the radio. But that's just a broadcast. Oh, right! Are we all becoming Wendigos? What's happening? Ah!
I think we should have another piece of meat for breakfast. Can I leave? One step closer to Mariah.
Is what she would have wanted! Oh gosh, I'm so scared.
What's gotten into you, Natalie?
All my muscles are so tense right now. And Natalie's eyes look at you begging.
Ah, bring us another slab. Please.
He clearly doesn't have the stomach for it.
I can't get the taste out of my mouth. Please help me. Natalie.
Gregor looks pained out of Natalie's words. I think he's right. I now have one of my arms over my chest as if that's going to protect me.
Please bring us more of that meat.
You grab some of the meat from your secret hiding place. Cut it into squares, adding it to the boiling cauldron water. It will taste bland without any seasoning, but you need to serve it up right away.
What's taking so long?
Boil it faster. I'm in danger, and I need to leave. As soon as it's done, I need to book it out the door. Just start swimming.
Looks almost done. Patience.
It's finally finished. Serve the meat in bowls. First thing, Aaron, what you gotta do? You give them their dinner, you leave the cabin, you do not stay. Self-preservation, you do not stay. Chompettes haven't come back in a long time. Ugh, what role do they play here? Gregor drinks the broth first before swallowing the chunks whole. Ugh, that made me want to puke. Like a duck does when eating bread. Natalie creates ripples in the broth using a spoon. He isn't eating.
I'm sorry about earlier, everyone. I don't know what it took me. But Mariah.
And Natalie begins to weep. You look over at Karen. You didn't notice her even start to eat. There's just an empty bowl now. Oh no, what's gonna happen now? Karen is staring right at you. How much more meat is left? Had a narrow window of opportunity to escape and we didn't do it. You explain how most of it has gone bad, and whose fault is that? This is the last of it. Ugh! How could you be so careless again? You remember Karen's knife. You need to think fast. What the hell are we supposed to do now? Wait around again? The storm isn't ending. You clear your throat. And Natalie?
Yes.
I think tomorrow you should look for Mariah. Or forage for plants outside. Why are we making this decision? We didn't even get a choice. We didn't get up to 5 hearts.
I think you should go tomorrow, little guy. No one else can identify edible plants like you. Please, Natalie. You can swim back after a few hours.
Gregor is right, Natalie. Maybe you'll find Mariah out there.
I think Mariah's fine by herself.
He still hasn't accepted what happened yet.
She doesn't need anyone's help.
But we need your help, Natalie.
That's right, Natalie. Please help us. Let me sleep on it. Okay? No problem, little guy.
Damn, Karen, you're so hungry. Why don't you go out there? Oh, great. Another black cut screen. Everyone shuffles off to their rooms, reading books and knitting to pass the time. We had knitting supplies. We couldn't make a net. You go to bed ravenous. Did I not eat anything? Mariah? Okay, I turned my volume up. I'm gonna regret that hardcore later, I'm sure, but I can't. It sounds like she's whispering in a separate language than different from English. Something is approaching.
Onion!
Hey! Don't be a crybaby. It's just me. Onion. Not going to be very sweet today.
Boy,
I'm worried about it, Natalie.
boy.
He's going to cave to peer pressure. You stop him from leaving the cabin. You don't answer Onion. Why not? Please. Don't you trust me? No, not at all. You shake your head. Got a fun factoid for you.
Boy.
You know that leaving out an unpeeled onion in your room absorbs bacteria? Does it really? That's cool. It will help prevent colds and ward off viruses.
Onion.
That was a lie. I mean, if it came out of like a medieval textbook, I would believe it that that's something that people did used to do. The fun factoid of that myth? Yep, people actually believed it in the 1500s.
Boy.
How embarrassing. Who would believe that? Ha 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 ha.
Boy.
There was even a doctor in 1919 who caused a surge of people believing in it. Ha 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 ha. I'm surprised it didn't come back into fashion during 2020. Anyways, knew it smelled like a raw onion left in a room.
Boy.
Ew. It's been a while since your last bath, right? You can't remember. Clearly water isn't an issue. We could have bathed at any moment. At least rinsed off. That'll be a crybaby achievement unlocked. Smell you before I even came into the room.
Onion.
Yikes. So, can you stop Natalie from leaving? There were 5 pieces of food in the drawer. Is this like a Natalie's alter ego? If a Natalie dies, the onion dies. So if Mariah has already died, what piece of food matched with her? I know he has cabin fever, but this is ridiculous. It will be impossible to stop a grown man from leaving. He didn't look that old.
Onion.
Liz! We don't need another one stuck in the hallways. Tapping on the windows. Crying through the radio. I'll pick my feet up off the floor again real quick. Okay, I feel 10% safer. You have the sudden urge to scream. Why do you think I've been using the mouse holes to get around?
Onion.
Scared to death I'll run into her. Don't make me tattle to Cabbage about you. What power does Cabbage have over all of you? I could be as mean as Potato if you get on her bad side. But clearly Potato was quelled. There's under Cabbage's power.
Onion.
Oh, just kidding. She's great. Anyways, when the time comes, just tell Natalie you care about him and don't want him to leave. Even if it's for me, okay? You could trust me. No, I really can't. Now, if you excuse me, I need to work on some new ice skates.
Boy.
They're made of butter slices, so I'll get to skate around the frying pan tomorrow.
Onion.
Later! Where'd you get butter from? Mind finally manages to forget about everything that happened. You fall asleep again, still ravenous. No, you have a strange dream. I don't want any more strange dreams. I need to talk to the Chompettes. I need information. A fox is collecting payment in your living room. You despise him, so you put 2 dogs at the bottom of a sack, then add 6 chickens on top. Fox smiles at you and leaves. At some point in his journey, The fox will eventually open the sack, and the dogs tear the fox in half. Filled with such loathing for the fox, you gave him the only things you had for food, all of those chickens. As the snow piles up outside, you begin to eat whatever you can find. Pillowcases, candles, leather. One day you wake up and you have nothing left to eat. Absolutely nothing. Just an insatiable hunger. A few days later, you go mad and leave the cabin, completely ravenous. A nearby tree, it looks like charred meat. Iron teeth cut through the tree bark, tearing your gums apart by the splinters. Your mouth fills quickly with blood. Days later, a deer gallops by. The first creature in the woods to see your corpse. You wake in a cold sweat. No scary jump screen image? Okay. I also hate that I can't tell if it's like morning or evening when you look out the windows. Something smells terrible in the living room. Someone puked in a corner. Wipe it up with a rag and save them the embarrassment.
Good morning. Good morning, little guy.
Ugh, I don't like that achievement icon. Bad ideas. Well, Natalie, what's your decision?
I barely slept last night. The whispers came through one of the holes in the floor.
I think that's the food talking to him, maybe?
She kept telling me to come outside.
I also want to point out or make a comment on that I thought we would for sure have had an option to divulge the existence of the Chompettes prior to resorting to cannibalism. What is this game?
We don't want to rush you. But one of us puked last night. So that's what that smell was.
Natalie? My patience is wearing thin.
You have 1 hour to make a decision, and
What makes you think you have the right to be calling the shots when up until this point, everything was put on me to make decisions? Why do you get to call the shots now, huh?
Why? Why so quickly?
Because I'm not waiting any longer. You see the glint of Karen's knife under her dress? Was she the one that killed Mariah? Best to watch out for that knife.
My gosh, somebody take it from her.
The group disperses, tensions seem to be rising. You have 1 hour to kill, which now has more than one meaning. What do you want to do? Oh, no, I don't know. A safety save. Even though I'm not making use of any of these save points right now. Oh my gosh. I really want to talk to the Chompettes. I don't know what's happening. Onion told me to talk to Natalie, but I don't know what's happening. I do not feel like I would survive a horror movie like at all. I don't want to take the blind word of an onion at face value. I need to talk with the Chompettes, and I need to confirm whether my suspicion is if the pieces of food correspond with each of the characters, including myself. I need to check to see if one of them is missing because of Mariah. Oh no. None of the fun Chompettes are around. Thankfully, Potato is kept hidden this entire time. Potato, what the hell is happening? And nothing can we call our own but death. And that small model of the barren earth, which serves as paste and cover for our bones. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you creeping up behind me. I was reciting my favorite line from William Shakespeare. You know which play it was from? It wasn't the one with the weird sisters. Take a wild guess. That's right. The Life and Death of King Richard II. Before I came to this cabin, I used to read all the classics. Do all the people who enter the cabin become food? Food like you or food like Mariah? Why did I stop? Probably because I don't have any hands. Oh, I can't turn the pages with my tongue. And I can't even nudge a book off the bookshelf. Pathetic, right? You nod. Yeah. I've been watching your progress so far. And I must say, very strange choices. Yes, it's my first playthrough. I'm going in so blind. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Even for someone like you. Someone who has access to the internet and walkthroughs. I've wondered why you're so accommodating for these four. Maybe I didn't receive the same treatment. Oh well. Excuse my rambling now. Are you here for another survival lesson? Okay, now this line of dialogue implies that had I checked in on the Chompets before, Potato would have given me advice for surviving. Is that what I'm meant to understand? How can I be here for another survival lesson if this is my first one? You shrug. Excellent. No shame in preparing for the absolute worst. Ahem. 36 hours have passed. You have no food. What happens? For starters, your brain stops craving glucose. But there's a good reason for that. Your guts have begun shrinking. And your livers have transformed fatty acids into chemical compounds called ketone bodies. Have I lost you already? There's books on the bookshelf that explain all this. I would love if there was an option to a point and click mechanic where you could point and click on your environment and read some of the books. That would be fun. Anyways, ketone bodies mimic glucose for the brain and provide about 2/3 of the energy needed to function. Sounds pretty great, right? Oh, my sweet summer child. Using ketone bodies gradually acidifies your blood, which can lead to ketoacidosis. Ketoacidosis is common in diabetics. How do you know if you have ketoacidosis? Well, a large amount of acetone is released in your urine and respiratory system. Your breath will also smell something like fingernail polish. It smells like acetone. No. I can't remember. No nose to smell now. So you weren't always a potato. Looking at your face? I bet your breath smells much worse. If only the Chompets had something nice to say about you. Here, have another recipe card. Yay! I have unlocked Potato's recipe. I personally wouldn't make it. But you have a taste for things like this. It's gonna be cannibal stew? Don't you? You don't argue. Let's talk again, shall we? I won't be leaving here. Far too dangerous to go exploring right now. Shut the drawer and call everyone together for a meeting. Oh.
Natalie, you okay, little guy?
And Natalie looks pale, like he's going to pass out. Natalie, have you made a decision? Either I kill you out there or I kill you in here.
Yes. I'll help you all out. I promise. Thank you, Natalie.
Big tears roll down Gregor's cheeks.
I'll miss you, big guy. I'll miss you, little guy.
Thank you, Natalie. I know this wasn't easy, but it's for the best.
Karen,
Yes?
I think you're the biggest bitch.
Gregor looks at you expectantly.
You want to say anything to Natalie?
Say nothing. I'd already lost control of the situation a long time ago. Goodbye, Natalie.
Goodbye, everyone. Good luck, little guy.
And Natalie has left the cabin.
See you soon, little guy.
I guess all we can do now is wait. Good night. And I didn't reach 5 hearts with him. I don't even know what other special dialogue that would have unlocked. I've not made progress with anybody. Karen goes to the bedroom to sleep.
I didn't tell him the truth.
Gregor is getting choked up. The truth about what?
I didn't tell him. Missing him already?
Gregor curls up on the couch for the night, turning his back to you. You shut your eyes, quickly falling asleep. Oh, something's scratching on the cabin walls or the windows. You hear a scraping from the floor. Red, you scared me. Found you. You explain how this isn't a good time right now. This is no laughing matter. I'm worried about Gregor. See, there's one piece of food for each person. Am I lettuce? Am I cabbage? He's as tall as a tree, but dumb as a brick. What's the root of that? Another cornbread classic. You're being very unpopular right now. That's a tree reference, get it? Oh, unpopular. Ha ha ha. Anyways, you need to protect Gregor from the red-haired woman. Cabbage called an emergency chompette meeting and told me to give you this mission. Watch out for that knife and protect Gregor at all costs. Understood? I don't know. I can always say yes, I understand to get them to go away, but what if I say no? Will I get more information? Does everyone look like a snack to you? I'm not giving you a choice on this. Let's try that again. Protect Gregor at all costs. What if I keep saying no? Sure, yes, I understand. It's the least you can do, right? Tell Bread that pun didn't make sense. On a roll today, I'll see you around. Bread hops away, squeezing himself through the mouse hole with a small pop. You fall asleep thinking about what Bread told you. You have a strange dream. It's lying on the table in front of you. You take off the glasses first, partially cracked and set down next to the workbench. I don't think we're having a dream. We're having memories. Working the saw, you wrap the cuts in an old newspaper. Some of it gets soggy immediately, so you begin drying the cuts with a towel before wrapping. Much better. You hear something approaching, so you clench a fist and get ready to strike whatever's coming for you. You wake in a cold sweat. Still can't tell if that's in English or not. I'm showing something. Showing a knife. Also, it seems to be I'm the one, quote unquote, preparing the meat. But Karen is suspicious AF. Again, why am I taking this upon myself? Am I not in control of my body? Am I being possessed by the cabbage? You wake in a completely different place. Did you sleepwalk or... Oh boy, you found some meat. You found it. Everybody's still asleep. This would be a nice surprise after yesterday's events. You decide to cook breakfast for everyone, cutting each slice fairly thin. You brown each side in the oven. Smell is unique. Oh no, Karen runs into the kitchen. What is that smell? Give it to me. Now. You don't argue. Karen grabs a cutlet, burning her hands before bringing it to her mouth. Ah! She hungrily devours it, barely chewing. She grabs another cutlet off the plate and eats it. Oh. You thought she was concerned with rationing. I don't think she ever was. Gregor wakes up from the couch and heads into the kitchen.
Oh, God. Already?
Gregor looks conflicted. He succumbs to the hunger. They always do. Gregor eats his food in a few bites, carefully grabbing a second cutlet. The tears start streaming down his face, but he doesn't make a sound. Now I'm conflicted here. We've obviously crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. And regardless of us making it out alive, leaving the cabin and back into town somewhere, this is going to haunt him and us, presumably, for the rest of our lives. You join them in the meal, quickly consuming the meat on the table. I can think straight again. I'll be out of here in no time. You need to ration anything now? Karen is sounding more determined than before.
I'm going to lie down on the couch, try to keep this food down.
Gregor crawls onto the couch, turning his back to you. Karen leans in to whisper. I'm glad Mariah and Natalie are gone. It was stopping us from bonding properly. How did you get so good at it? You tell Karen. After one bite, it just made me feel whole again. Even with the nightmares, it's worth it. So you do feel remorse. It took a few nights, but I fought back. And now it's all I can think about. I read the book on necropsy. The text is ancient, but the diagrams are beautifully drawn. Very descriptive. How many years did it take to perfect the craft? You tell her? Ah, yeah, right. I used to tell Mariah that you weren't funny, but that's not true. Sorry about that. You've grown on me. Aaron pauses, deep in thought. You know Gregor can't swim, right? He'd be the next to leave, but he doesn't stand a chance outside. They always seem to come back, right? In one way or another. Why wait for him to come back? Aaron hands you a vial of liquid. I think you know what needs to be done. This is a strong anesthetic. Don't ask me how I found it. I want you to slip this into Gregor's mug tonight. This is for the best. He won't feel any pain until he wakes up. All you have to do is stand back and let me work on him. This request is beyond extreme. Ah. Will you do this for me? Why don't you do it? I need to psych myself up for what's next. This is my first time and I want it to be perfect. Why don't you do it? No, okay, same dialogue. Alright, here's my dilemma now. My newest dilemma here is, do I have the chance to double cross her? Because if I pick yes, does that mean I'm automatically following along with this plan? And I can't no take backsies? And if I say no, is she going to turn on me now? Let's do a quick safety save to make me feel better about myself. And I'm gonna say no. Tch. The right decision. Fine. Save that for a rainy day. I have everything set up by the couch. You don't have to watch. The restraints should be easy to apply myself. Gregor's strength is a farce. Gregor, hi.
Hey, Karen. What are you doing? Untie me!
Wait, what?
Oh my god.
This will be over soon, Gregor. Oh no, did I miss? Was this gonna happen regardless and I missed an opportunity to make it painless?
Stop!
Gregor has turned silent. I wonder why. Are we gonna get a thing that pops up that says Gregor has left the cabin? You leave her alone, going into the bedroom and crawling into the bed, and Natalie slept in. You fall asleep almost instantly. No. 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 This is new. We didn't have a border before. Wake up, sleepyhead. Ooh, is Mariah at the door? You're having a nightmare. Thanks for letting me practice last night. I think I did a great job. Practice what? Ate us all some breakfast this morning to celebrate. Breakfast with what? That's a surprise. Gregor already finished his. Took a few hours, but he caved. Come on, let me show you. Hold up. I got a plushie right next to me. I'm gonna put that in my lap over my heart. And hope that helps. For anyone who's curious, it is a strawberry frog that I got from Daydreamsy. Get out of bed and head to the living room.
No! No! Why?
This is worse. He's a little weak from the blood loss, but don't worry. bandage him up like a field medic.
My,
What is it, Gregor?
where am I?
God, you're stupid. Maybe if you spent as much time reading books as chopping wood, you would have noticed the pages I was bookmarking in the necropsy book. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. Necropsy?
What are you talking about? This isn't a Heroes 3 video.
Do I have to spell it out for you? You can't swim. How are you supposed to help us out when you'd immediately drown? You'd sink like a log.
What?
I put some of your limbs away for safekeeping. That leg was pretty tasty, huh? Gregor goes pale. How's that for a big breakfast? And don't try to crawl away. If you leave this couch, I'll end you. I don't want any of it to go bad, so we'll eat that fresh arm when everything else is gone. Speaking of which, going to start cooking another chunk. I'll leave you two alone to chat. This has gone too far.
Hey. All I wanted to do was keep everyone alive and together.
Is that even possible?
But I failed at that. Are you disappointed in me?
No, because clearly I was the one making all the BS bad choices.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Growing up, nobody had to tell me to be big and strong. It just happened naturally. My mother always made sure I never went hungry. Seconds, thirds, fourths. Yet I complained my belly was not full. One day, on my way home from school, I was walking by the town inn and smelled something amazing coming right out of a pile of trash. I dug through it and discovered a bag. I threw away a meal that was still fresh out of the oven for some reason. At least that's what I thought. I became ill with food poisoning. I hugged the toilet and cried for hours. My mother rubbed my back and eventually carried me to bed. I learned nothing from that experience. Like everywhere else, I was just here for the food. I'll never get this foul taste out of my mouth. It's going to keep eating me. I'm sorry. Getting too lightheaded to hold a good conversation. Going to torture me again. You know that, right?
Nod. Gregor grows a little more pale.
Can you cover me with a blanket? I've never been this cold. This cabin, it chills me to the bones. What's left of them? Please. Consider it my dying wish.
I mean, no. Dying wish granted.
Thank you. Much warmer now. Watch out for that knife, okay?
Gregor begins to look at Peace. Scared to look at his face. Looking in the corner of the screen. You watch the last of Gregor's air escape his lungs. Bye, Gregor. Oh no, we couldn't keep our promise to bread. What the hell do you think you're doing? Tell Karen that Gregor gave up. We could have kept him alive for another week. What's wrong with you? No matter. Plenty of food left now. Karen leaves you alone. You head to the kitchen to try and find the other remains. Gregor. Look at the pile of dishes and your mind starts to wander.
Hello.
Let's play hide and seek. Is now really the time, Cabbage? There's 5 of us to find.
Yes, banana.
Can you find all of us? Red-haired woman should know where the basement key is. What's in the basement? I never went down there. And I bet one of us is hiding down there. Why do I have to find you? She's whittling something in the rocket chair right now. So watch out for that knife. Probably best to avoid the knife. Wait. Isn't that your knife? Why did you let her have it? Shrug. I feel like I've missed so much. Just this one playthrough. As leader of the Chompettes, it's important you find all of us. So please don't forget any of us. Good luck. Why are we playing hide and seek? Cabbage rolls away and tries to hide. Why would Cabbage want to play hide and seek right now? You have been neglecting the Chompettes lately, because there were more pressing matters. Can't hurt to play along with them, right? Haha. You go talk to Karen in the living room. Looks like Karen's just slicing away at a block of wood. Gregor's remains have been stored for safekeeping. Scrubbed all the blood out of the couch to save you the trouble. Can I help you? I'm gonna save game. I have no idea how much longer we have until we reach an ending, but I've been recording for a while now, so I'm going ahead and call this episode here. I have no frame of reference of when a good stopping point should be. So if we end up wrapping things up the next episode really early on, then, you know, we just dive straight into a replay and see if we can get a different ending. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!